Hello, forward thinkers, and welcome to Urban Canvas. In this episode, we have Savvas Christou with us, a film director, writer, producer, and CEO of Cult Experiences. We have the same last name, but we're not related. Savvas studied fine art in Greece and later pursued filmmaking in Los Angeles, where he earned a master's degree in directing. He has directed several short films and his debut feature film, Captive, which premiered at Fright Fest in 2021. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to our Fast Forward YouTube channel and on Spotify, and to show your support by visiting fastforward.com.cy for your daily news. In this episode, we will discuss art as a vehicle for diversity and what needs to be done in order for art and filmmaking in Cyprus to thrive as an industry. Sava, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me, Pavlos, Digital 3, Fast Forward, everybody here.
So in your work, you explore themes of identity, family, and psychological depth. How would you define the connection between human well-being and art?
I think in general, if we don't have art in our lives, I'll be honest, we're gonna be like robots, right? No emotion, no feelings, no anything. So we really do need art in our life. And I want to say it's like a mirror. Art is like a mirror, like you're watching a piece of art, even if it's painting or film, and it's mirroring feelings, emotions. You see, let's say for films, a main character, a lot of things happens to him or her, and you're trying to get into their shoes. So you're gonna feel empathy in a way for with a character. So you will think, what would you do in his or her perspective? So I think mirror, it's a nice way to place it. Yeah.
Interesting. I want to ask you a question. Does life imitate art, or does art imitate life?
I think both.
Both?
Life is life, and you experience many things. So as an artist, I want to express my problems or, my happiness, all the emotions. I want to incorporate them in my art. And so it goes both ways,
Both
I think.
ways, yeah. So you're currently collaborating with Youth Tech Festival, which is an event that brings kids of all ages and backgrounds together to celebrate creativity, innovation, technology, and I think you're doing 3 film festivals there, a music one, a fashion one, a dance film festival.
Yes.
So how can art, in your perspective, be integrated into the educational programs to promote a deeper understanding of diversity?
Good. Yes, we are doing the Youth Tech, and we're going to have the music video, fashion, and dance film festival. We're also doing it in May, which is bigger festival for youth. Is under 24 years old, which is really nice because it makes young people wanting to create, and when you create, you experience everything I told you before. But also this collaboration between younger minds, it's giving you, as I said before, like empathy in a way. So you get to understand other people's point of view, and the younger you do this to understand each other, the best. And I think also in, let's say, schools, I think we should focus more on arts. To avoid, let's say, bullying, for example. Bullying is something that a kid does to another kid without having like the thought of how the other person will feel or whatever, So as soon as you give them the information, the education to understand all these emotions, I think bullying is gonna go away, for example, right? But yeah, there's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And unfortunately, we see a lot of times that art is the first subject that gets less funding than other subjects. And especially in Cyprus, there's not a lot of opportunities for kids to create art, but especially filmmaking, because filmmaking is also an expensive art form. So I really think that what Youth Tech is doing is really important to
Absolutely.
facilitate that.
And I think in general, uh, the people that are to a like to a place that they have power, for example, I think it should be like diversity there to get like grants to people that doesn't have the voice, or even different genres. In Cyprus, we tend to do some specific stories or some specific genres, which I think it's wrong because there's many stories to be told. And as you said, it's like a rich man's, I don't know, hobby or whatever, filmmaking now in Cyprus, and it shouldn't be. More people will get, I think in the future, will get the opportunity to tell their stories because we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually when, let's say, the ministry gives funding, it's usually about you need to write a story that has to do with Cyprus history or Cyprus, traditional culture. But, Cypriots are real human beings that have, real experiences that go beyond, those 3-4 events that happened that like really defined.
Absolutely, we need to be more open to other stories. I mean, we've been told the same stories over and over. This needs to end at some point. And I think now that Cyprus is becoming more international in a way, I think people will experience more cultures, and hopefully in a way it's going to change soon. So yes.
So we're talking about diversity in the content of art. But what about diversity when it comes to, casting, directing, the producers, whoever is involved in the creation? We see a trend now with major corporations, even the big studios, that they're all, ruling back a lot of DEI initiatives, a lot of their ESG initiatives. So at Cult Experiences, what do you do to make sure that diversity is at the core of each production?
Good. In general, I think big productions and everything, they should, in my opinion, do castings because in Cyprus we tend not to do castings. And we call a friend of a friend, and it goes like this, people you, let's say, trust. But of course, it depends on the story. You cannot tell a story about Cypriot person, and for some reason the character speaks English, right? You could, but it depends on the story. Mm-hmm. Like if there is an American person who lives in Cyprus and it's his or her story, yes. But we tend to try to do something that it feels unnatural and fake, considering to the story. And sometimes it's because you want to sell more, you want to go to different markets, but the stories don't work.
They don't translate
internationally.
And we have an extra issue in Cyprus, which is the accent.
Correct.
Do we use the Cypriot dialect? Do we use the, Greek dialect? And I see that in a lot of productions, that they end up with an accent that's not familiar with anyone.
Again, it depends on the character's background, but it always feels forced if a Cypriot person that talks with, let's say, with their family, and they are Cypriots, to try to talk in Greek, without Cypriot dialect, for example. But of course, if the actor can really do the accent, amazing. But sometimes if there's not enough space there to actually do the accent correctly, it feels weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
but
released...
sorry. In general, in my company, we're trying to do castings for everything. And of course, because everybody's texting us why I'm not involved and all that stuff, I try to put on our social medias, casting call, and whoever is interested, we actually trying to do a casting. So yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for sharing that. I'm gonna move to a different topic because you released an art video dedicated to Iranian women.
Yeah.
and aiming to show support and gratitude. What inspired this project specifically for Iranian women, and what impact do you hope it has on raising awareness about their struggles? And this actually is an issue that's very close to my heart because one of my best friends is Iranian, and I had an Iranian roommate. So I'm very interested on why you decided to pursue this.
It's very similar to me. I have a friend as well, but in general, you know, as an artist, I see what's going on around me, right? And I usually talk with people, but I think it's stronger to say something with your art. So that's how I wanna do stuff. Like, let's say I want to say something, I'm gonna create a video or a movie about it and show it to the world. That moment, it was going nuts in social media with everything, and something inside me wanted to do something. And because my friend in Los Angeles, I used to live in Los Angeles, he was my editor. He's from Iran. He haven't seen his family forever, and I know everything about Iran because of him. And he was posting every day, and I'm like, he can't do anything, but I can. So that's why I put again on Instagram casting, and I said, who is interested to do this? And a lot of people really replied, and it happened in like 24 hours. And then we went kind of viral in a way. It has like 500,000 views, more than 10,000 comments, and you know, the feelings I get from it helping without really helping, it just raising awareness to everybody. It's a great feeling. Yeah.
I think it's just so important to balance. Yes. You know, we all want to be successful as artists, but we also want to say something. We want to create change. And finding the balance between commercial success and cultural change it's very important.
Of course, and I think in Cyprus, for some reason, we do this. I don't know why. We are afraid to tell what we want to say, right? Maybe we feel we don't belong there to tell something, or they're gonna judge us or whatever. But this we need to change, right? We need to give voices to the artist. And this comes from the audience as well. So the audience has to support artists in Cyprus so they will have voice, so we can create stuff.
So what would you say is the biggest challenge for an artist in Cyprus, this mini community?
What I said about the audience is one of it, but also artists between artists. It's a small market, it's a small space, so we tend to say bad things, artist to artist. So in general, we talk a lot that in Cyprus we don't do good art or whatever. So the audience hears it from us, right? So they think it's bad, and it goes like this. So people judge way too much art, especially in Cyprus, and we should teach the audience that when you watch a movie, for example, let's say movie, you get to understand the world building the artist did, so you get to empathize with the characters basically, and don't just in 3 minutes say it's fake, no, or whatever. Don't judge, just it's an experience. Yeah, it's an experience to understand what the character is going through, right? But also we said about grants, we said about, I don't know, we have this thing that big companies or whatever, they hire people from outside because Cypriot are not good or whatever. No, there's many good Cypriot artists or people that live in Cyprus that do art. I don't think we should bring people from outside, you know. I think we definitely have great artists here.
I couldn't agree more with that. I see that tendency as well, that, you know, you could be a Cypriot artist that went to Los Angeles for 7 years, but for some reason, you know, they'll bring a director from abroad because that just gives like a different status, and sometimes I feel like Cypriots are, you know, obsessed with the foreign.
Yes.
Yeah. And at the same time, you know, as audiences, we tend to watch a lot of Hollywood films and Hollywood TV shows. And then when a Greek or Cypriot production happens, we tend to judge it and compare it. But there's really a big gap, and it's mostly money that makes that difference. So if you just focus on the story and the acting, which those things, you know, don't need money, I think you'll find, you know, wonderful content in
Of
in
course.
Cyprus.
And the other problem I find very frustrating, it's like copyrights or, you know, there's too much piracy here. Like the artist never gain any money because it's okay to illegally download, or it's okay to illegally add the music in a video that it doesn't belong to me or whatever, and nobody does anything about it. And if we just stop this, like nobody should use something without permission, then everybody's gonna go to Cypriot artists because you can pay an artist to write the music for you rather than, you know, use a Madonna song and it's okay, you know?
You're right. I think we're one of the last European or Western countries that can so easily pirate content.
Yes, it's crazy.
It's unheard of how easy it is. So before we close, I want to move to some rapid questions.
Sure.
I want you to tell me your favorite film.
The Shining.
The Shining. Okay.
Yes, from Kubrick. I had it on VHS when I was young. I don't know why, and I was watching it all over again and again and again. Yeah.
Okay, I watched it once. I thought it was too scary. What's your mantra in life, or a quote that really resonates with you?
I tend to get out of my comfort zone all the time, so I think getting out of your comfort zone and create art without fear, then you're good, yeah.
Okay, what's your biggest regret in your career?
I don't regret for something because when you do something, you make a choice, and when you do choices and don't wait till you make the choice, and it's a bold choice, then for that specific time, that choice is correct, right? So you don't regret. It's part of the experience, and when you don't regret stuff, then you're happier, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you. And if it turns out to be the wrong choice, you can learn from it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's when you don't learn from it that you repeat bad choices.
Correct, yes.
And if you can give us a piece of advice for young artists in Cyprus, maybe filmmakers or, you know, any type of artists.
I think just create. Like I have some students. I teach film directing, and they are afraid to get into the first step. Just create. If it's bad, the first movie or the second, even the 10th, it's okay. You learn. So I think just create. In Cyprus, we are afraid to create because we're going to be judged. No, create and don't listen to anybody.
Yes, take a camera, gather your friends, and make content.
Exactly, yes.
If you wait to find the perfect situation, it's never going to happen.
There's no perfect timing. It's just, you know, challenging yourself and evolving as an artist. That's it.
Thank you. Do you have any closing remarks? Maybe tell people where they can find your films or any upcoming projects from Cult Experiences?
Yeah, we have everything in our website, like www.cultexperiences.com. We have all the movies there, all the music videos, advertising or whatever, but they can email me or call me and I will give them more, yeah.
Great. Well, Sava, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Pavel.
Thank you. I'm Savvas Christou. I encourage you to also check out our new podcast, Expats Unpacked, where we'll focus on the experiences of expats in Cyprus from their career to their personal lives, and our flagship podcast with Michael Tirimos, Breakpoint, for in-depth conversations with the most successful high-profile figures in Cyprus. Don't forget to follow and subscribe on our YouTube channel and on Spotify, and find us on digitaltv.com.cy and get your latest news on fastforward.com.cy. Until next time, keep inspiring and take care.